This show is your basic Boy and His Rabbit story. It's about Elwood P. Dowd and his best friend, who happens to be an invisible 6 foot 1.5 inch white fuzzy rabbit, and the effects that the friendship between the two of them have on the community and his family.
My name is Mel Losey.
I am Doug Myers.
Chris Rebisher.
Melissa McElhone. Michelle Haas.
Mike Reed.
Samantha Brown.
Scott.
Todd Lewis.
My name is Stephen Owsley.
I started doing theater when I was about 10 years old. I've been doing community theater since 1991.
About 25 years.
This is my first time.
It's probably 7th or 8th grade.
3 years.
I did bit parts in high school and a few random comedy skits in college, but I've only really been acting as a passion for about 2 years.
This is my third play for center stage. I did 2 years in high school, I should say.
Since I was 13.
More than 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably 8 or 9 years.
I played Wilson the Orderly, and Wilson is the simpleton muscle of the asylum. The men in white coats on that guy.
My character is Vita Simmons, and she is Elwood's sister.
I play Dr. Chumley. Dr. Chumley is the head of the sanitarium, Chumley's Rest, where Elwood's sister and niece try to get him committed. Unfortunately, every attempt to do so seems to be thwarted by some supernatural force.
I am Betty Chumley, and I am Dr. Chumley's wife.
All friends, my name Ian. Character is a cat driver.
My character's name is Ruth Kelly. She is a nurse in the sanitarium. That.
I'm playing Myrtle May, and she is kind of resistant to everything. She doesn't like Harvey, she hates him, and she just continues to be that way throughout the entire play.
Judge Omar Gaffney, and I am Dina Louise's attorney. When she goes out to the sanitarium to commit her brother, they falsely try to commit her. She gets very upset, and as a result she wants to sue them, so she retains me to file suit.
I have the opportunity to play Dr. Lyman Sanderson, and he is not a recent graduate, but he just graduated from a very fancy college with a psychiatry degree in the 1920s, and he landed a really good job in a sanitarium that plays a very important role in our protagonist, Elwood's journey, I guess.
Mrs. Chabannet. She is an old family friend of the Dowds.
Elwood P. Dowd is pretty much, I would consider, the central character of the play. He is the best friend to Harvey, and Harvey is the best friend to Elwood.
My favorite line would be when Ruth and the doctor finally get together and she literally, "Oh, Lyman!" That is my favorite line.
I am not a gossip, Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, really? Well, it's very nice of you to say so, I'm sure.
People get run over by trucks every day. Why can't something like that happen to Uncle Elwood?
I've learned in this life you need to be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. For years I've been oh so smart, I recommend pleasant.
For years and years, I told people that my favorite movie quote was the oh so smart or oh so pleasant line. But now that I've been reading and studying the script, my favorite line has become, "As you grow older and pretty women pass you by, you will think with deep gratitude on these generous girls of your youth."
He wants his money. He doesn't like to wait for it. He will do pretty much anything if he gets tips.
I actually believe Elwood to be a Zen Buddhist, whether he knows it or not. I think that Elwood is a Zen Buddhist.
Dr. Chumley is well renowned within the international community as a psychiatrist. He is a leader in his field, but he can't get a word in edgewise at home because his wife just drones on and on. She is very much the master of their home.
She is the type of person who is very controlling. It's very subtle, but she has definitely control over
Vinny Barbarino about 4 years after high school, and he got a job in an asylum as a man in a white coat.
In a padded room? Probably Elwood. I think he's my brother. And even though I try to scold him, I really like him at heart.
Vida, because she seems nice, but not too crazy in a way.
Yes, Vida. I don't know, she just seems like, as a person, like a crazy person.
I think probably Elwood would be the person that I would like to be locked up with. He's a gentle soul, he's a philosopher. I think there's a lot of life lessons to be learned from Elwood.
It would be Harvey.
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 Harvey. Because
Why?
he's invisible. Because he wouldn't talk back, and he wouldn't cause me any problems.
I think Harvey would be fun.
Oh, definitely Harvey,
Yeah, why Harvey?
because he can stop time and you can go wherever you wanted and with whomever you wanted. So you wouldn't be in locked in a padded room anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, when I was a kid, I used to have an imaginary friend.
Yep. It was actually Bunny. So it's very embarrassing. And his name was Bunny.
Probably. Yes.
Okay.
As a kid, yes. I had 11 imaginary friends.
Wow.
But my best imaginary friend was Sandy Duncan, the famous actress.
I have never had an imaginary friend. One's imaginary friend is an extension of oneself, so I'm going to guess that my imaginary friend is going to be a lot like me, only cuter.
Well, not to my knowledge, but it wouldn't surprise me if some of my friends from back in the 70s were well, I guess that would be a more hallucinatory friend.
I had an imaginary friend named Huey. He was the fourth cousin of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the ducks. Remember those guys?
Yes.
His full name was Bartholomew James Bonds, Ancient, not Asian, 0077.
I would go somewhere warm and tropical and a beach somewhere and do basically everything like just vacation, drink a lot, and it's probably my ideal vacation.
Somewhere warm right now because it's winter time.
I think I would go travel to Europe and go sightseeing for 2 weeks. That would be fun.
Vegas and big steak dinners and gambling night and go to the library every day.
Probably somewhere like Australia, but no bugs.
Much like Elwood, I mean, I've always wanted to visit England and any travel, you know, I'm not multilingual, and so I would have to travel where people speak English. But the more I think about it, I'm happy right where I am with whomever I'm with. I couldn't think of any place I'd rather be.
All the time.
All the time.
I'm constantly telling true stories that no one believes.
Now that I can remember that they reacted in such a way that they're usually polite enough to wait until I'm out of the room to tell each other that I'm full of hot air.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, there's been too many because I've slung so much brown stuff in my ears. People often, you know, disregard what I'm saying as immediately as bull.
No, I don't think I can. No, I could, but not right now.
Jimmy Stewart. Well, if I try to do a Jimmy Stewart impression, I would probably come out something a little crass.
I'm not really capable of doing Jimmy Stewart. I really don't know the essence of the man, but what do you think, Vida?
Merry Christmas, movie house!
Because it is hilarious, especially for a community theater. This group of people that are very, very talented. The show comes together so perfectly. You have a hard time staying in character before rehearsing, so it's a blast. They need to come see this and have a good laugh.
Because it is hysterical. I think it's a heartwarming story.
Because I think Harvey has a lot to teach all of us. I think there is whimsy, but there's a deep-seated philosophy that underlies the show.